So Fairholmes visitor centre and car park. I've just parked up. I'm just going to get a car park ticket. I don't intend to be here too long. It's got toilets, it's got all the amenities you need. Later on in the day, it's got a little coffee place, you can get a coffee. It's got a shop. Right, so up to 2 hours, £3.50. All day, £6. And you have to enter your last 3 characters of your vehicle registration. Well, I've parked the car, paid my car parking fee, and I'm off for a walk. It's a beautiful place. As I said, there's so many places to walk, but I'm gonna show you, forget what it's called, I think it's called the Dam. It's absolutely amazing, but it won't be overflowing today. When it's overflowing, it's such a spectacle to watch. But it was a feat of engineering building it. So I'm going to show you that. Have a little walk along the reservoir for a bit. I keep saying reservoir. Have a little walk along the path. And I've got 2 hours, so I'm going to have a bit of a jolly, some quality me time, and show you some of the sights. It's so peaceful here. I have seen one other person walking at the moment. I know they're ahead of me. Dogs and everything. That time in the morning. I'll see you soon. Do you know what? I just had a terrible panic. Where's the car keys? Where's this? Where's that? I think you left stuff behind. But no, they're all in my bag safely. Right, so look at this. Isn't this absolutely tremendous? So this is the dam. And the other side of there, obviously, is the water. And when we've had such heavy rain, it overflows and it's like a great big waterfall, and it's just fantastic. It really is just fantastic. Just trying to imagine how many men it actually took to build the dam. Now you can walk across the grass, but it's early morning. I don't really have the appropriate shoes on. And I don't really fancy wet feet. So I'm just walking up the road. Right, there's a signpost here. Let's just have a quick look, see what it's going to tell me. It's telling me this is the Derwent, Howden and Slippery Stones Trail, and the Valley of the Dams Trail. Ladybower and the Lost Village Trail. There's a village up there, I can't remember what it's called, but it was, people had to move out and it was demolished because they made the reservoir and they filled it with water. And when we have a really warm summer and the water gets really low, you can see the relics of the village. So that's really interesting. I used to come here quite often when I first moved up here. That was before COVID. And that was before I spent a fair bit of time on my own. But since Bob's retired, we spend a lot of time together, and we tend to do things together now, so I don't really explore so much on my own anymore. But this was one of my go-to places. I just love it here. Looks like a castle, doesn't it? Yeah, it's quite fantastic, really. And obviously, so when all that water's overflowing that wall, it comes down. Gotta go up those steps in a minute. It comes down. And goes in there. So we're going up the steps now. Bit of a hike. Crumbs. I'm quite good at falling, so these are quite steep actually. I was wondering whether I'd be better off walking up here for a minute. That just seems a wee bit easier, but or maybe not. Actually, this is quite hard work. Just sort of makes me realise how unfit I am. So let's just try a bit more. Presto, we're at the top. Out of breath, but we're at the top. That's what it looks like in there. So, crumbs, water's very low. Can you imagine how high that would have to be before it overflowed? And look at all the rain we've had, and the water is still that low. So this is Derwent Dam, and that's Derwent Reservoir. Now, if you can just imagine back to the Second World War, and they used to fly planes here really early in the morning to see how low they could fly to drop their bombs. Oh wow, I am so out of breath. Okay. I think there must have been an easier way for me to walk, to tell the truth. So, what's the time now? Let's just check my watch. There's some workmen over there, I'm not sure what they're doing. So, it's just gone 7:30, so I'm just going to have a little walk up here for a while before I double back, and then I think I'm going to go the other way, because it's easier if I go too far. It's just easier to double back. So I'm just gonna, there's a few buildings down here that I'd like to show you. I'm not sure what they're doing, but obviously they're very busy. And look, there's some ducks on top. That's what I could hear earlier. I thought I could hear the ducks. They're normally in the car park. Couple of young ladies down here having a waddle around. when we come back, we're gonna do the actual stay on that the road here, and not come up here because that's just a bit of a long walk. So we're going to go down here now. There's some houses down here. There's an old school. There's a farm. Just want to show you some of the properties that are down here, which are of interest. And what a fantastic place to live. Isn't that beautiful? And here we have the old red telephone box. And believe it or not, that one's still got a telephone in it. So we're going to carry on going for a bit more. I have walked around the whole reservoir quite a few times. Don't actually have time to do that today. If I wasn't meeting up with my friend, I would. Now I'm sure the farm ahead of us is actually looked after in some way by the National Trust, which at the moment is an organisation that I currently work for. I'll have a look up when I get home, and it's called High Peak Estate Old House Farm. So I will look that up and see what the significance is and why the National Trust are looking after that. I mean, they look after all the land up on the moors. I mean, I've done that walk as well, walked 12 miles across the top. Beautiful walk. So it looks like that the National Trust has got tenant farmers in there. Oh look, you can see the sheepdog. Fantastic, absolutely amazing. So I take it they're the tenant farmers in there for the National Trust. That's why I just love the countryside. I prefer the countryside to the coast. I understand why people like the coast. I like walking along the beach, but for living and nature and mindfulness, it's the countryside for me every time. And now we're walking alongside this is, I think this is part of Ladybower Reservoir, and it's absolutely massive. So I'm going to walk down a bit further. Got a point to where I'd like to get, and then I'll just retrace my footsteps. That's how still that the water is. It's like glass. And you can't get divert off the paths because it's private property. But yeah, that is just stillness and perfection like glass. And there's still a bit of a haze from the mist first thing in the morning. Another wonderful property there behind that wall. Then I think just down here, a little bit further down, we have the schoolhouse. And I'm not going to go much further than that, to tell the truth, because I need to keep some energy for later. So this is actually called the Shooting Lodge. So you can't really see that much of it, but it does look beautiful. Any person who admits to shut and fasten the gate is liable to a penalty not exceeding 40 shillings. I think that's relatively a new sign. Ah, that's actually come from the railway. There you go. And say that's the Shooting Lodge. So we're going to go down a bit further now. And I'm sure, I'm nearly positive if my memory serves me right, that the next building, could be proved wrong, is the old school. I think that's just behind these trees. As I say, I could be proved wrong. Looks like, oh no, it could be a church. I'm proved wrong. Is it a church? Is it a school? I tend to think that's the old school. Yeah, I'm sure that's the old school. Fantastic, another old fantastic building. I just wanted to get, and keep going because I can't remember, I just wanted to get to where that the old village would have been, and then I was going to double back. Relatives by appointment, if I had any relatives. Well, I've got a son and a granddaughter, but I don't have any other relatives. Well, I've got cousins, so they'd always be welcome. There's quite a few of these dotted around this area near the water, and I'm not 100% sure what they are. If anybody knows, can they please put it in the comments below? Because I'm not sure. I'd like to be educated. Right, yeah, now I think we are going down to the part where I wanted to get. Fingers crossed. I think you can go up there. That's another walk up there. It's a public footpath, and that will probably take you up to the top. Some beautiful walks there, and yeah, I'm sure it is. We're getting down to that part now. So as we get to the bottom, that's as far as I'm going to go. Then I'm going to double back and hike back the way I've came. See, now if you look here, you look at the wall, if you go, there's a fence there. Now that would have been, they're gate posts, so that would have been a fantastic gateway to somewhere. Obviously there would have been probably a beautiful house in there. Just makes you wonder, that makes you want to go home and researched the area. Now I can see there's water here, so there's not going to be, you're not going to be able to see any of the old village. So yeah, normally when the water's really low, you can see parts of the old village. I suppose those things are there. There's some slabs there, they might have been part of it. But no. So this is as far as I'm going to go on this walk. I'm going to double back now, back to the car and head on my way. But thank you for watching. As I'm walking back, if I do see anything of interest, I will film it and put it at the end. If you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, comment below, tell me if you've been here and what your thoughts are and if you've enjoyed it. And please subscribe to our channel. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. We like to share our adventures and we'd like you to carry on watching with us. So I will see you next time on Travels Around Britain with Bob and Elaine. Cheers, bye. So I'm heading back towards the car now. I've done about 1.7 miles. So the time I get back, be about 3.5, be pretty good for this time of day. In some lovely countryside, just love it here. And I'm gonna get back to the car, see if there's some ducks to feed, and then move on to meet up with my friend. See you all soon. Bye. See, now I've been gone just over an hour on my walk. See, builders to dam busters join us for a journey through time. So it's the history. You can hear the birds. See, really, this is just nature at its best. But sadly, no ducks for me to feed. So I'll just keep my food in the car for another day.